Hi, this is Philip Ko, owner of selfhelpaudiobook.review.com. Just wanted to review the latest audiobook that I listened to today that I really liked. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and review. So, the name of the audiobook is Blogging, Make Money Blogging for Profit Through Writing Blog Posts Utilizing Affiliate Marketing Secrets to Earn Passive Income 5-book mega pack. And it's a hugely long name, and it's really interesting because it kind of utilizes one of the concepts that he mentions, about like long, how it's very important to have the title is more important than like some of the other secondary things and stuff like that as it relates to SEO. I think that's why he did it, so it really broadly applies in appealing in the internet, like a lot of keywords and etc. Very keyword oriented title. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but there's a purpose behind it. That's why I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so it's the audiobook is by Isaac Cronenberg, Ezekiel Brenner, Zebulon Goldberger, Joseph Gergen Gerstenkorn, narrated by Jason R. Gray, Dave Wright, Wyatt Weber. Length is 6 hours and 4 minutes. Date of publish was November 8th, 2018. So it's been more than a year now. Or a couple years now. Almost a couple years. Anyway, is it an original version? I think so. I'm not sure if it's an update, but I didn't really see the evidence of it being a repeat, so I would assume that it's an original version. I could be wrong on that though. Publishing house, I couldn't really. I like to disclose that, but I couldn't really find that information, so I'm sure it's like self published. I mean, these guys are pretty successful, so it's one of those guys that just probably not like didn't think it was a big deal to get any help from a big publishing house. Like, let me just put it out there. I don't know, I'm just guessing, but anyway, it got to me, so I'm just gonna say this is self-published. Audible, it's on Audible. I like to mention that, my favorite. That's why this whole thing is dedicated to audiobooks on Audible. So, and a blog will be set up under that domain name that I have. This is all fresh, so it's not completely set up yet, but at least I'm putting out content. So it'll be on the website in a blog format at some point. At least that's the vision, and the website's going to be selfhelpaudiobook.review.com. I have the domain, but I haven't built the website yet. I'm trying to figure that out. It's happening pretty quickly, so I don't want to burn myself out this time. This is my third time doing blogging, so but I'm doing like more like a audio format also, so it's kind of cool. But this will be on the blog. This will be on the YouTube right away. Almost right away. But this will all be on the blog. At least that's the vision. Anyway, so the web page that's relevant to the blog, or not the blog, but the audiobook, is blogger.com. I just wanted to kind of mention that because he mentions it several times, and it's relevant. It's not just a plug, so to speak. To sell his stuff. There's definitely a little bit of marketing involved, but obviously, but it's not like they're not desperate for a revenue. So it's relevant. I haven't really checked it out really deeply yet, but it's one of those things that could be very useful. It seems like, at least just to go check it out. Some free bonus and things like that idea. So blogger.com. That's his website, I believe. It's Isaac's probably, or one of the owners, or of this audiobook. Some of the subject matters talked about are like SEOs, content creation. It's fairly thorough. Frequency of posts, banners, affiliate programs in relation to that. Very good thing about that program. I think I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Guest posts, any different types of posts, like review posts versus travel posts, or I mean whatever blog. What type of blog they each are, and what could monetize, and it has a special section in the back about the review, review blog, and that's, there's like a 90-day challenge, type of thing, attached to it. It's really neat. Or 60 days. I mean, I think 90 days or 6 months or something like that. Forget how long exactly it was, but we have that, and it has that, and it's nice. Okay, so what I liked about the blog, or the audiobook, is that it does go into fairly in depth about affiliate programs and how they work and things like that, and big emphasis on monetization. I like that, obviously, because that's the most important part people are worried about when as it relates to the business aspect of blogging. And it's done by real successful bloggers. Of course, that matters. I'm not going to knock down, the underdogs. Who hasn't made it yet. In this type of things, I haven't made it either. I have experience, but I haven't made it either. So I can't really knock that down. But when you have an audiobook from a real successful bloggers, very highly experienced and very advanced bloggers, when the audiobook is made by them, it is always a huge plus. I mean, it should be, right? That's why they're big, and they're credible, and they know what they're talking about, and et cetera, right? And it's more trustworthy because they've seen results from the things that they talked about. And they really do give a specific guidances, and they prescribe a formula, for example, for their challenge thing. And I like that. It's like, here's a template here. We're going to give you the template. You follow these A to Z, and you shall make money. And wow, that's what everybody's really looking for. So, and they do that. It's just one template. It could be other templates as well, but I'm just calling it a template. But anyway, so they they give you the prescription, and I really like that about the thing. And it's there, and it's also very useful. Tons of useful information. Relatively up to date. I mean, 2018. So that's one of the things that I don't like about it, because it was 2018 and blogging. The world is changing, so I'm sure there would be some updates, some relevance updates. So that's the thing. Reviewing it at this time of 2020, August the 2nd. It may be getting outdated, but I'm not gonna knock it down still, because it's relatively recent still, and there's so much information that's not gonna be like, they're not antiquated yet. Much of it, most of it, I'm sure of it. Or that's what I'm guessing. So, and also not narrated by authors, as far as I know. So that that's not always. It's always not as good when it's not narrated by the authors, as far as I know. That they're done by the professional narrators. A little bit of weakness and guidance on how to start the blog website and how to maintain it, more technical, or how to go find help, or more specific, or a little bit more meat to the bone, because a lot of people are that are listening to the blog, they really need somebody to hold their hand and say, what, this is how you start. This is how you're gonna. These are some example of how people built their website, and a little bit more like a more beef up chapter, maybe or addition of chapter, or just beef up a little bit on that. That would be wonderful, because that's the stage that I'm at, but I have a little bit more experience than an average person in blogging. So I'm just like talking to a person that that's already created a website for me before, etc. But anyway, and it may be updating soon, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. Who is it good for? First time bloggers or experienced bloggers? I mean, these guys are champs in what they do, as far as I can tell. Very very like no bullshit approach. So it's for serious bloggers. This is what it's this audiobook is designed for serious aspiring bloggers like me. I was a blogger before. I'm bringing it back, but still, like, because I haven't really made my blog big yet. Like, it's not like it wasn't a hugely successful blog yet. When I closed it down. Anyway, so like aspiring bloggers, relatively experienced like me, but still intermediate, not advanced enough. That's why I picked up, this audiobook, right? So it's perfect for somebody like me, or somebody for the first time that want to, I've always wanted to start a blog, but I want to make money off of it. I mean, like, I don't, so it's designed for us, or for those people. So it's all different skill levels. Who is not for is that that are looking for general motivation in the blogging industry, like, or just, who's looking for just a self-help. I mean, but they're gonna weed them out anyway because of the title, right? It says blogging. It's like, if you're not into blogging or interested in it, you're not gonna buy this audiobook. So it's gonna weed itself out. So it's not really too much of a negative there. Let me see here. And people who would rather have a free blog for some reason, they don't want to deal with the whole hassle of it, because there's a lot to it. It is work. I think it's the best kind of work, because it's just you sitting in front of the computer, and it's not really, it could be a lot worse, right? But anyway, but people who would rather have like a free blog and sort of like, have this, conscience or whatever, be like, oh, I have a free blog, and it's like morally superior or whatever. I'm not trying to knock people down, but some people may have that kind of consciously, unconsciously have that. I don't have that. So, or sometimes it's relevant, because if you want to be, it has some point to it, because if for total integrity, like unbiased, but that could be your thing, right? Like unbiased opinion, like nobody pays for my my product, or something like that. But this is more for people that are just are over that stage of like, I want to make money off of a blog, like, there's no like battle of morality like within themselves, like it's not for them. All right, like you have your time, and then once you resolve it, you either go this way or go this way, you know what I mean? So and people that are like trying to deviate, it's not for them either. Like they tell you specifically a few times, don't deviate too much, especially if you're starting out. We're giving you a prescription, follow it. If it doesn't work, then you'll find out by then. But until then, work the prescription we're giving you. That it's really good advice. It's the real type of thing that I'm looking for, is those type of real advice that could be coming from only people from people like that in this industry, because not a lot of people are successful or experienced in the blogging industry like they are. So it already puts them in a very like elite position to tell you, so it has a lot of credibility to that. Anyway, or it could be even longer. I think it room for improvement could be it could be longer. It could have a little bit more practical information on the creation of the website, like I mentioned, things like that. Hiring help, how that works really, and just the front end of it, like how to the website creation part. I think it could be really beneficial to beef that up, because that's the most intimidating part for most people, I think, like, or one of them. So, but final thoughts: great material, 5 stars, for sure. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna try to do what I can do for SEO on the back end for because obviously I am talking good things about this, and he's a blogger, and he talks about all about the whole symbiotic thing, back and forth traffic and etc. So we'll see what we can do. But anyway, either way, this is for you, the listener, to give you an idea of what this audiobook's about, and and this is free to you right now. So if you, after listening to me, if you still want to check it out, you can go to Audible and get this audiobook. All right, thank you.